For sure, this is the quickest way to strike your irons pure forever. So I want to give you 3 exercises that are going to make a huge difference to how we control low point and compression through the golf ball. These really do work. You know, I've done this for a long time and seen huge success from these exercises, so I'm sure they will help you. So the first one is what I call the no pump drill. The idea is we take a half backswing, so left arm kind of close to parallel to the ground, and from there we try and hit the golf ball with no what I call pump. So a pump would be moving up to come down. From there we try and drive down and through the golf ball. The idea in the drill is we try and create some speed and energy using our legs and getting more of a lateral kind of dynamic shift, which also then pulls the handle more forward and also gives us the speed and energy in the right areas in the right sequence. So we tend to then not cast the club, we tend not to hang back. Those things will start to be detrained from us as long as we start to make successful contact. So the no pump drill for me is a great drill to do, and it's a great drill to do particularly at the start of a practice session to get your body motivated and energized to move the right way, to get that strike, that ball and turf, that compression all starting to happen. Let's go through that. So take your setup as normal, take your lead arm to about parallel to the ground, and then from there we're going to try and hit the ball as far as we can, trying not to go up. Most golfers, me included, will have a slight movement up in order to hit the golf ball, but that strike was fantastic. A really low penetrating shot, nice little bit of ground interaction after the golf ball, and I really felt like I had to shift, I had to move my pressure, I had to kind of lag that club forward in order to create a contact on the golf ball. So that felt really good, and if I did that regular and often, and certainly starting my practice sessions that way, I'm sure it would help me then start to shift my pressure the right way, get my low point control in the right spot, and get that ball on turf contact each time and get that strike really pure. Exercise number 2, and I love this one for compression. What we're going to do here is use our right hand only. So the right hand, trying to get the palm of the hand to face the ground as long as we can, and try and feel like we finish just in a little cut-off position, trying to feel that the handle is pointing outside our body. Now everything in the world, the forces, the torques, gravity, is making that handle want to point back at my body. And the average golfer in the world will have the handle pointed too far back, even to the right of the body, whereas the best players in the world, the handle points left of the body. So we're doing everything we can to encourage that correct shafting. So this right hand only exercise, if we're successful doing it, just getting a little kind of chippy brush away, really starts to create, again, the right forces and what we call dynamic kind of pendulum action in the shaft to really try and get that club head forward. A lot of people get worried when we get the shaft forward, thinking the club face is going to open. Again, we want it to be rotating with the arm, still to keep that club face neutral or square. So, take your setup, right hand only in the normal location, make a swing, change direction slightly, let the wrist recock a little bit as it does that, and then make contact. Don't look to hit the ball a long way. Again, this is great as a warm-up. You might do 10 no pump drills, 10 right hand only drills, and then go to normal shots after that. It definitely gets you feeling that you're moving dynamically forward and getting that shaft in a very, let's call it aggressive, tour style position to play great golf and strike the ball pure. The last exercise is about looking at the lead hand more so. And I call these lead hand digs. But what you'd be looking to do is take your lead hand only in the club and try and just create a little divot as far past the ball as you can. And again, what you'll see here, it creates a kind of recocking of the wrist and a forward momentum to shift everything forward. If you remember, the secret to making great contact with irons is getting basically a slight downward angle of approach. With a 7-iron, you'd want it to be 5 degrees, and a low point that's 4 inches or so after the golf ball. So you'd want the club traveling down and getting to its lowest point of its divot in an area around here, about 4 inches past the golf ball. So these digs, and you'll find it from what I see with lessons I do this with, most lessons find it very hard to get this a long way forward. The secret with getting it a long way forward also is trying to keep this head back. So if we keep the head back and dig forward as far as we can, That is the secret for low point control. You combine that with the right wrist position, which is encouraging the same thing, and the no pump drill, it's encouraging the same thing. So you could say to me, well, what's the point doing all three? Well, certain golfers are better at one or the other. I'd certainly encourage you to hit balls with one and hit a few golf shots afterwards. How do they feel? What's the outcome like? Hit shots with the second one, same thing, and the third one, same thing. And whichever one gives us the best outcome, that's the one you should use, obviously, the most. That's what I'd encourage. But once we've done a few of these lead hand digs, let's go to the golf ball and again hit a small shot, trying to go lead hand dig. And you see that divot there, it's quite meaty. That shot's gone a long way for such a short shot. It was really compressed. The strike was pure, absolutely pure, loved it. So that feeling for me would be exactly what I'd want you all to experience and feel, and then take that to a normal shot. When we add it to a normal shot, we're going for a longer swing, we're adding more rotation in the body, but we still want to feel the same kind of dynamic positions that we had there. Love that. Absolutely love that. So my ball striking sometimes can be a little bit what I would call clean, probably half a groove low, and I probably don't take enough divot. That one there, I just got the radius and the compression just right to make that strike feel so solid. And when I do that, the ball flight improves, it straightens up a bit. When I get it half groove low, because I tend to get a fraction, I'd call it good player flicky, I tend to get the ball just turning over a touch too much and just dropping a little bit too much left, missing greens, left edge, short-sighting myself sometimes. That's the bad shots I get, and it happens because of what I do prior to this. But encouraging these feels, it's like taking a vitamin. It's kind of keeping me healthy, keeping me good, and keeping that contact pure, and keeping that ball flight a little bit straighter in my case.